I was born in Seoul, Korea, adopted when I was 6 months old, and raised in the Midwest. My whole childhood and most of my adulthood I spent denying my Asian heritage. Now is the time that I take back my unique Korean American story. I am starting the journey for the first time to learn about my Korean heritage. This is my Midwest Korean adoptee life. I am getting ready to go into a Korean market for the first time in my life, and I'm super excited. I am so thankful that I live in a city that has a lot of Asian markets and a few Korean markets, so I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be going into Kim's Asian Market, and there's actually a lot of Korean businesses all around, so that's super exciting. So I'm so excited. Let's go. So I'm in the market and it's really cozy and cute. It's really tempting to just buy some kimchi instead of making it. Especially after I read the recipe, I'm kind of nervous about making it, but I'm gonna still make it. My biggest challenge is I do not know what a lot of the items are, and so I think one of the things I'm just gonna have to do is just try some things out. Obviously, I like all of the cute bubble gum and candy. I definitely love high chews, so this is where I'm starting first. I've seen these before and they've always interested in me. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to try them just yet. Although I do like a matcha, so they might be worth getting. I'm more interested in the green tea candy though. I wonder that lemon balm tea if it looks good. I mean, the girl on it looks super fit, so maybe it's good for fitness. I'm still looking for some roasted barley tea. Some ginseng candies look good. Those peas look good. I'm wondering if they're like a wasabi pea. You guys, I did not know that there's a hot sesame oil. And I did not know that there's a red chili hot oil. Those both sound amazing. So my recipe calls for oyster sauce, and I'm not sure. Like oyster flavored sauce, is that the same? I think I'm gonna go with the oyster sauce. Although I like the panda on this one, that's cute. And it says gluten-free. Decisions. So I'm definitely having some confusion because my recipe calls for Korean chili, but I'm like, is that dry? Because anytime I've cooked with chili peppers, it's been dry. So, but I'm seeing all this spicy chili crisp, and I'm wondering if that's what the recipe means. I'm just gonna get both, I guess. Here we go. It's like really small in here, and I just turned the corner and found this. A whole nother section. Yay, Okay, you guys, I found all the noodles I need and the potato noodles. I'm excited. Okay, you guys, I'm caving. I'm just gonna buy the kimchi because I don't know why. I'm just nervous about making it for the first time, so I'll kind of ease myself into it. But there's onion and there's radish, and I've never had like the onion or radish kimchi before, so maybe I'll try that instead of the cabbage. So I'm excited. Oh, this looks really good. Some tofu. Looking at all of the skincare, because that's my jam. Okay, you guys, I did it. I finished my first Korean market visit, and I think that it went pretty good. I got a lot of new things that I have never tried before, so I'm excited. I had a lot of anxiety about going, if I'm truly honest, and I don't know, I just felt like... Sorry, you guys. I don't know why it's so emotional. I think I just feel a lot of guilt that I haven't started this before, and I was just scared, and I feel silly. Like, I feel like, why have I waited so long? And I feel very thankful that I have the opportunity and the means to do this, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing this. Thanks for coming with me on my first Korean market shopping experience. A couple more thoughts. I had some time to process. I had to stop at Target before I went home for a couple of things, so I'm in the Target parking lot. I think the big emotion behind, going to the Korean market for the first time was it's uncomfortable. I definitely feel like an imposter. I think he was the owner, came to check me out, and he greeted me with "안녕하세요," and I kind of froze for a split second. Do I say "안녕하세요" back because I know that's the traditional greeting, or say hello? It was uncomfortable. I said hello, and continued to have a discussion. He quickly shifted into speaking English in our conversation. It just feels uncomfortable because my whole life, or especially growing up, I have always told people I'm not a real Korean. I know the verbiage and the phrasing is not exactly appropriate, but I always spent all this time explaining, I'm a Korean adoptee. I'm not culturally Korean. And now that I'm starting this journey to learn about my Korean heritage, I definitely have that feeling of I'm not a real Korean. What are you doing in this Korean market, So a lot of imposter syndrome. Gosh, I have a hard time saying that phrase. A lot of imposter syndrome is going on for me, but I think that getting uncomfortable is a main part of this process, and the more I get uncomfortable and the more I grow through this, I know that it's gonna be awesome, and this is so important for myself, but for my son's story too. So thanks again for coming with me on my first Korean market experience. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm definitely going back to that market. It felt so good to support small, independent, local business.